Does money buy happiness?
I think this is probably a very common answer, but money is an incredible tool that can make the good better and the bad worse. So it depends on people's mindset. I think in a place like Gstaad in particular, you have people that have all the money in the world and they choose to live a very wholesome, modest life with their family, do very charitable things, build beautiful homes that are built clearly for them and not for status or for putting out anything. And then you have the inverse, where people live very crazy lives with a lot of vice, and they live this life of abundance and like gluttony. And money can make that a lot worse if you choose that path. So I think it's whatever your mindset is. You guys are a great testament to that. I've seen you when you were living in the Grove and you had very little to lead a life of excess. And now that you can lead a life of excess, you have this beautiful, wholesome life with your wife and daughter, and you've chosen a good path. So I think you're a testament to that answer.
Yeah, I personally, I would rather cry in a Lambo.
I agree with that for sure. I think money it's an amazing thing.
There's data.
For sure.
There's data and studies about this, by the way. I've always been very interested. And I think we've talked about them on the show before. There's a median earnings that represents the highest saturation of happiness in the United States. And that number obviously changes by location, and it also changes by every year, right? Because of inflation, cost of goods, so on and so forth. But in Connecticut, I remember when the study came out, I think it was somewhere around like $95,000 a year. And as you move down from that, you lose the ability to cover the things that you need as an individual or as a family member, right? Healthcare, food, certain basic luxuries, television, maybe a trip every here and there. And as you move away from that median, as you move away from that average, whichever one it is, I can't remember, you are now having to dedicate more time to earn that money. And so at the end of the day, unless you're talking about some hyper affluent child who is gifted the money, there actually is a right amount of money to be making to find happiness. Because to be completely honest with you, you and I, we come across, I mean, you're pretty locked in nowadays as dad, but we're outside and we run across so many freaking people. And I'll be honest, there's a bountiful amount of unhappiness in the scene that we play in, dude. Yeah. Bountiful. Like all these people out there watching this are thinking to themselves like, wow, if I was only able to accumulate X amount of dollars, man, it just doesn't seem to translate into any long form meaningful happiness, because I don't see it. And I don't know, you know.
I mean, I think that money won't necessarily buy happiness, but the lack of money will very likely buy sadness and misery and pain.
Yep.
Right? So I think that's a non-negotiable. If people can't take care of the people they love and take care of themselves, then it's a whole different game.
Do you think the blanket statement, you got to get that bread up, is applicable?
For sure. I think that there's what's important from 0 to 10.
What's wrong with you?
No, but to be honest, what gets you from 0 to 10 and how you feel from 0 to 10 and then 10 to 100 and 100 to 1,000 are very different sets of problems and considerations and emotions. When I talk about Gstaad and these absurd communities, this is like really like way beyond necessity. This is excess in every shape and form.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.